you guys? It is your girl Cadillac. Yes, I'm Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Drama Life Prison Wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice. Hoping, because you got to hold your breath for justice. To see justice before all face to black. Yes, it's your girl Cadillac. Anyways, guys, I'm coming through today, July the 10th, 2025. Yes, girl. Um, on my way home, like literally, I had a whole nother video in mind where I was going to tell you. Well, for a while, I've been wanting to do a basically a flip side, like each scenario that's in my life, the flip side, because people always tell you look on the bright side, and while you're trying to get people to see your side, right? So each person only sees one side of the issue. It's just like a case. There's the side from the state, and then there's the side from the defendant, which usually gets ignored. But there are multiple sides that make the totality and make the truth. So each situation, um, in my life, I have been called negative a lot. And I have been told that is my reason why I suffer a lot in life because I'm so negative, right? My husband didn't come home because I'm just so negative. Like your channel didn't take off because you're just so negative. Your business that none of your businesses, your cosmetology business, your YouTube channel that could be a business, your art career, none of that took off because you're just so negative. And I tried to explain to people that it's not really negative. A negative person would never go out to even attempt to achieve and would not. And you know what really snuffs out your fire? Failure. When you fail, it's that much harder to get up and try again. So I have failed umpteen times in my life. I honestly feel like I've failed everything I've done. Honestly, it feels like that. And this is where you're going to say, because you're so negative. But no, that's aggravating. I'm just a realist. I am just telling you how it is. I'm just reporting, some people don't like to hear the truth. Like when you tell them, almost like in the case, the video I did it must have been a month or two ago about Carmelo Anthony, and I was basically breaking down the case per law, not per my feelings. Like, if you're going to go per law, you have to delete your feelings off rip. And you have to try to minimize your biases, right? Because we're all biased, because we have conditioning. We have been conditioned to see things a certain way, to view others a certain way, right? So either you put them in check. Some people don't check their biases or biases. Some just let them run rampant. Some do. Some work on their stuff. It's like being self aware. Some people are aware of self. Some are very unaware of self because they don't even try. And when anybody tries to tell them about themselves, they cause a whole big old confusion and distraction and get mad till the person is like, you know what? I'll never, I'll just let it be. Just let him be how he is, or let her be how she is. I'm not gonna, you know, or it gets reflected back on you. You try to tell somebody what they're doing, they'll say, but you're not doing this. So they never can hear it. It's like throwing a rubber ball at the mirror, trying to get them to understand, like, it just bounces back on you. So it's really pointless to even try to get people to see from other vantage points. But some people do step outside of themselves and try to see things through not only their eyes, but how does this affect others or other sides, like other. versions of what is happening. So, yeah. So, I have been called negative so much to where it's basically nothing I have done. The blame is shifted to myself. It is not that we are very much in this society that is literally not even conducive of even surviving anymore. See, now people are starting to see a little of what I was talking about back then because it's cranked up and it's harder, right? But back then, people were like, they still thought that it was like they still had them VR glasses on. They still believed in this American dream. I remember that movement. I do not dream of labor, and the a dream. I don't know if I'll be able to say that, so I'll just say the a dream is a lie. Um, so many of the things I didn't achieve is attributed to myself. It's turned back on me. But I'm like someone close to me used to tell me all the time that you make your life. Keita, you make your life. And I would say, no, you can actually contribute and you can do things to try to make your life go one trajectory or the other. You can mitigate things, but you really cannot control your life. That's honestly out of your control. It's just like in these businesses, on my YouTube channel, I don't have the control to make this thing work, to be the content creator that I've been trying to be for a long time. I don't have, that is not in my control. But people will tell you if your channel didn't take off, it's because of you. Something you did wrong. But see, I have the ability to upload the content. And of course, if I don't make the video, there's no chance of, you know, a video taking off. There's no chance of hitting that 1,000 subscribers. Like when I got back on YouTube in 2020 and I only had 20 subscribers. And now I am almost to 2,000. It has been forever to get those 2,000. Um, and would not have gotten them had I not been putting content almost daily for the last 5 years, right? So I can, so if I get monetized, it is contributions that I made to it, but I can't make myself get monetized. That is in the hands of this platform, that is in the hands of people deciding to watch my video, that is in the hands of people deciding to click the video, that is in the hands of people watching the video and saying, let me leave a comment, let me like it, let me share it, if it resonates with them. So it's many things, it's parts that are in my control, but not everything is in my control, right? But because of a lot of things that I've done, just like my cosmetology career, I was one of the best cosmetologists. People used to gather around me to see what I was doing. I always had something cutting edge. It was always something innovative. I guess it's because I combined my art skills with my cosmetology skills. And I never, ever, ever wanted to do what was a trend. I wanted to do things that were never done before. And I see a lot of stuff that I created, I know for a fact that came from me. But I see others out there doing it, and they don't even know that I'm the one that made that up. I'm the one that did that. I created that. In my cosmetology class, they used to circle around me, circle around me to see what I was doing. But halfway through cosmetology class, school, I ended up getting carpal tunnel, severe carpal tunnel with nerve damage. I graduated, but my hands were never strong enough to be able to make cosmetology a career. That was out of my hands. That really had nothing to do with myself. How did my negativity cause that? I put out the good. I went to school. I was a single mother. My husband had just been taken wrongfully and incarcerated. I worked overnight while going to school a few hours before my night shift, like every day. Like, I put in all that I could, but at some point it's out of your hands. So that part that's out of your hands, if it doesn't happen, how is it your fault? It's on you because it didn't happen. So that's just a long-winded explanation on why people call me negative. But I just report the truth that everything that I have tried has failed. That's not negative, it's just true. My cosmetology career failed, my rap career failed, my art business failed, my graphic designing is failed. My YouTube channel has not taken off in over a decade, so it may be a failure. I don't know yet because I'm still on here trying. Um, it's just the truth. It's not a negativity. So said all that to say, and I probably got off a track. But I wanted to do a video about the flip side, where I was going to take a situation and flip it around and try to find the good in it. And a very good example of that was because it does bother me that so when 2020 came, the world shut down. I had just graduated from graphic design school. It took me forever. I am a 20-year college student. I enrolled in 2000. I got pregnant by 2001. I had to drop out because my husband was snatched out of our lives and I could not afford college, let alone daycare for my daughter while I go to college. So it was just off the table for me at that time. So it took me, I didn't go back to school until 34, almost 35. And that was because my mother, if y'all been with me for a minute, I know it's a lot of new people, so I'll just tell the story briefly, and it's hard for me to be brief, girl. My mother graduated at age 53 with her master's and was about to go back for her doctorate. So, in business, we were to make a t-shirt company. I used to do hand-painted t-shirts. But I've always been an artist, but I never knew how to be the brain behind the business. I don't know the business aspect, and I think that's why it takes me so long. And I don't have anybody that has ever been willing to, take a chance on me at all, like in any aspect. So I think I just lose because of that. I have all the talent, but I just don't have I have a missing piece, right? And somebody has that piece, but they're not willing to aid me in that piece. So it's kind of like I have a lot of things, but with that piece connected, many of these things can actually, like, can these dry bones live? Like, they could actually live. These dry bones of everything I've done could live, but it's something missing. And so it was a situation where I was put out of basically we were thrown online school from in school to online school, and then we were doing everything like mock interviews, but nobody was hiring for graphic design at that time. The whole world was shut down. I was even put out of my theme park job. Right? So I'm just at home. I'm thinking I'm just finally graduating and thinking my life was gonna shift and turn around once I graduate. I had a internship lined up that was off the table, that was gone, and that was kind of the only way to get into the graphic design unit in my theme park because that was my goal. But when it shut down, that avenue was closed and gone to me. I am disabled, so I knew it was going to be hard to just go out there to a company and applying for a graphic design job because I don't know. I hate my physical limitations, but they have limited me so much through my life that I should be used to them, but I refuse to accept them. So I just keep trying and trying and trying. Um, just like even after that carpal tunnel stuff, like I still kept trying to, um, be in a chair and all of that stuff, and but it just wasn't working out. But I just don't know how to accept the defeat, right? So no graphic design jobs. So I decide, hey, I'm at home. The world is crumbling. Let's get Marcello home. So that's how I jumped back on my YouTube, pressing and grinding. Really, the only reason, the main reason. There's a couple of other reasons, but the main reason, because I really want to break his story and just get him home. That's it. If anything else comes from it, it would be beautiful. If my art career took off, that would be beautiful. But more than my art career, I want my husband home more than I want to be an artist. That's so crazy. But so it's like almost like I can't live my life until he's home. Like I have this huge battle, and until this battle is defeated and won, I can't move on to the rest of whatever in life I'm supposed to be or do, right? That's kind of how it feels like it's set up. It's very hard to do other things, just like I should be building my graphic design business. But every day I wake up and my husband's gone. It's like build graphic design business, fight again for your husband in vain, and he never comes home. But when that fight is for love, you're always gonna pick that. So I know I'm picking wrong, right? But so I got on YouTube, and that's how from 2020 I have been posting, and I've grown very, 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 very slowly. I watched a many of people jump on here and grow in a minute fraction of what I've been trying to. So because they grew, is that as well? Like, you know how they say, if I didn't make it, it's my fault. Well, if they made it, it's their not fault, but their doing that they made it. No, we both put forth effort. It just happened for one and it did not happen for the other. There's no difference in me and the big YouTuber that is monetized and making their living and able to quit their job and actually be on YouTube and do what they love, and myself. We both put forth the effort. It's just theirs took off, their ship sailed, and mine didn't. Mine sunk and sailed, but both ships got out there on the ocean. Both ships set out for a voyage, but one sank and one sailed. Sank and sailed. So I go through it because I feel like I'm living an alternate identity. Like I'm living so humbly, but I don't feel like this is what God made for me to be. Like, yes, He wants you humble in spirit, but to be dead beat broke, though you work hard as jail, you give the shirt off your back. You do all you can. You strive. You reach. You overcome challenges, physical challenges, every challenge you can think of. But you still just struggle, and just work. Just work your life away. Barely can pay your bills. Everything is just like they told me. This is my final warning, for like my final notice, for my. I have insurance, but still $4,500 from when I was in the hospital earlier this year for ketoacidosis. I was sending what I had, which I really don't have that. The $20 back in the day, as long as you sent something, they didn't bother you. Well, they talking about this is it. They wanted a payment arrangement of like 170 a month. Where would I get that? And at this point in my life, I should not be this broke because I have done the right things. I have done to not be here. I have taken precautions, but I'm still here. So I don't know. It just feels like I'm living an alternate identity. And I wake up every day here, but I don't feel like this is where God planned for me to be. When I was born in 1981, He did not plan for me to be here. So I see myself as it's almost like that movie Precious. You remember how Precious seen herself as the reality she was living was so much different than what she saw herself as. And that's how I feel. Like this ain't me. My locks aren't all over the place. I am a immaculate cosmetologist. These aren't my locks. My eyebrows are not crazy weird like this, all over the place, bushy, because I am, and I actually am licensed in makeup and stuff, and esthetician and all of that. That this is not me. This ain't me. This is a shell of who I have to be to survive what is happening. So I fight with myself because I have to go to work. I got to put on this checkered skin. Why am I still clocking in? Got all this different talent that I know come from God. So because I know it's a gift from God, God wants me to do something with this gift. But I need time to do it. And my time is taken from clocking in. So it's all connected. It's all distractions. It's all to keep you off course and from being who you were meant to be. So I go through it. I know my potential. And it feels like I'm not even living a thousandth of my potential. So a girl, she was like, I don't know how we got into it, but there's a Starbucks at the theme park. And she was saying, oh, I was trying to get me some energy. And I was like, yeah, I just got off of work, but I got to do some work on my stuff. And she was like, well, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I'm a graphic designer. I'm trying to work on, I think I was working on Marcello's book cover or something. I don't know what I was doing. But she was like, oh, that is so great. You actually work here and you're able to build your graphic designer business too? Now, you already know the viewpoint that I see where I'm like, all my time, space, and energy is going to this checkered skin place. And instead of being able to put it into my stuff, if I could ever put that same time, that energy, that passion, my good time when I'm wide awake in the morning, if I'm able to put that into something that I can build rather than giving it to them for barely enough to pay my bills, right? What could I have built, right? Because we're not getting our worth there. Your worth will come if you're building for yourself or for your family or, you know, where you're really going to be getting what, you deserve. And she was like, wow, that is so crazy that you get to do that. And I'm like, I don't want to be here at work. I want to spend, like, I would love, like, even if I made what I make now doing graphic design or art or even YouTube, if I could make what I make to barely survive now from YouTube, I would be so happy because I can spend my time doing what I basically was created for. I wasn't created to be a workhorse. I wasn't created to, but it was so crazy. It really took me aback the way she looked at it. And I had never looked at it that way. I looked at it as though this is another failure. You went to school all that time and you're still a restaurant employee. This was supposed to be the final thing that if nothing else worked, school was going to get you out of this mess, and it didn't. But she looked at it and saying, whoa, you got steady income coming in while you are actually able to still build your business. Because for entrepreneurs as well, once you jump out there and you quit that job, that constant security, job security, that ain't even that secure, but you knew you were getting paid, girl, that's gone. Now, algorithms will judge whether you get paid, or the performance of your videos, or the performance of your, and if I'm a freelance graphic designer, the amount of customers I have. Maybe customers want to hire me, but I'm not fast enough, so they hire somebody else that can turn it over like that. Or they want to hire me, but they don't have the money like that, so they can't hire me. So it was just crazy how there was two sides to this same situation. And until you try to see the other side, you have a limited view, right? So maybe I'm looking at this all wrong. Maybe it's not I failed everything that I've tried. Like even with my husband getting gone, that looks like even my family failed. Like literally, I didn't even get the family that I thought I was supposed to get in life. You know how I'm gonna get married, I'm gonna have 2.5 kids and a 2.5 two bath, two bedroom room, a house or whatever like that, and I'll drive this and my husband will drive that. Girl, all that was washed away out my life like at the beginning. When we first were trying to establish our family, that was gone. That was like, you think you gonna have this, but no, that's you're a single mother by force, not choice. That was one of my songs. To all my single mothers out there by force, not choice. Hey, know that you can make it, but the choice is yours. If you never give up, never throw in the towel, just keep your head up, you make it out somehow. So I became a single mother by force, not choice. Nothing I planned. But yeah, it's just the flip side. Trying to, I guess some people call it look on the bright side, or the glass is half full. When people see things through realistic eyes, when I mention the failures that I've encountered and how it truly is after you've failed that many times, it is. I mean, just being honest, it's hard to try again. And it's not like you can extract those experiences out of your mind. They're there. So you're going to know that it's harder to jump out and just run with something because you've done that time and time again, and each time it does not succeed. So it's hard to get rid of those feelings. It was hard for me to start a TikTok because I know the failure I had experienced on YouTube. It was hard to start a YouTube. Well, another one, because I started when YouTube started, girl. Because didn't make it on MySpace, Facebook. It's hard to keep trying, and if anything else comes out after this, that's gonna be hard because I didn't make it On TikTok, YouTube, MySpace, Facebook, Twitter. I have been trying to break my husband's story on all of these platforms for decades, decades and a half, 2 decades and a half. But maybe it's not a failure. Maybe one thing prepared for the next thing. Maybe it was just levels I had to go. I don't know, but I know it has to be more than this. Because if it's just this, then it's not true that hard work pays off. Then it's not true that you make your life. You, if you're going to make it, it's up to you. No, it's okay. But I said that wasn't going to be a video. I was going to talk about another video. It was I Don't Dream of Labor. You know, my channel is about freedom. Time freedom um, is also a part of freedom, freedom and justice. And a lot of our decisions we make because we're strapped for money. So we make it's living in survival mode. We live in survival mode because we don't have the money to live free. Which you try to minimize money in your life and try to, oh, it's not everything, oh, it's not this, it's not that, but you suffer when you don't have it. My husband's in prison because I did not have the money to fight for him. We didn't have the money for him to be free. Had we had the money, there would be no hashtag free Marcello. He would have been free because money can solve that problem. But so it's a catch 22. But I was supposed to talk about it's a video of, ironically, I was driving home from work listening to, her name is, well, I don't know how to exactly say her name because the narrator was saying Kita, and then it was other TikTokers were calling her Quita because her name is spelled Quita. But throughout most of the video, they were calling her Keita Cole. Well, y'all know my name is Keita. And basically, behind her grinding. So it was crazy because it sounded like they just kept saying my name over and over and over, as though they were talking about me past tense. You know, though it was not me, it was my name. But that's what it sounded like the whole time I was hearing this video. And she was just grinding. She had a dream, like, baby, I am the one that actually go. Many people have dreams and they never act upon them. I'm the one that, oh, okay, let me go. Like I had another, follow my dreams wherever they may take me. Hey, it don't matter if they make or they break me. I'm still gonna try. I reach for the sky, 'cause I'm the one that's in control of my life. Follow my dreams wherever they may take me. Hey, it don't matter if they make or they break me. I'm still gonna try. I reach for the sky, 'cause I'm the one that's in control of my life. But that, y'all know, that was back when I really believed in dreams and dreams could come true. So that the wording is kind of contradictory to what all I just said to you. But yeah, I'm the one that will follow the dream. But it gets very disheartening when you don't achieve the dream. It really does. Because I put a whole bunch over my whole lifetime just to still be at square one or square zero or square negative two. Is it even square one, right? Does it feel like I've moved backwards? But this girl had a dream to have a restaurant, her own restaurant. She didn't want to be working for people like that. Like, you get tired of only being able to put your gifts and sow your gifts into somebody else's garden, not your own, not where it can flourish for you and your family, but you're sowing it in someone else's garden. And they're reaping. They're reaping. You're just barely getting by. So she was like, I couldn't work for nobody, so let me just start my own restaurant. and she became successful. She grinded, no sleep, no sleep, no sleep. Oh my gosh, it reminds me of myself. I don't even think I slept since I had my daughter over 24 years ago. I get a little bit more sleep than I used to, but girl, it was times I did not sleep. How did I sleep when I was going to hair school for about 5 to 6 hours a day, working a complete full time overnight shift, 8 hours a day, a night? And then because they took my husband wrongfully, I'm daycare now too. I have to watch our daughter all day and I'm sleepy. How am I being mindful enough to be watching a little baby? Like, when did I sleep? I remember going on, I would be so tired, guys. You would want to cry. You so freaking tired. And she made posts like that. When I watched this video, it was like cries for help, and I have cried for help. And people just don't respond to you when you cry for help. They call you negative, or they say you're just not trying hard enough, or they whatever. So you get tired of crying for help. But then in the end, they're like, well, why didn't somebody help them? Like, go figure. But she was tired. But I used to go in the bathroom and we would put our foot up on the toilet. And then my elbow would go on my knee. And my head would go like this. And I would catch a few minute nap until I fall over. And that would wake me up. Why do we have to live like that? Just because we want to live a comfortable life. Because it was always what they pushed in hustle culture was put in work now. Put in the work now. And when you get older, it'll pay off. It pays off in the future. Well, baby, it ain't paid off for me. I put in that work. I made those deposits of time, of energy, of space, of everything, and it did not pay off. So yes, I'm a little salty. But I wanted to cover that video. I can link that video in the description box because it's so sad that she reached her dream, but she's not here. She passed at age 40. She said she was going to take a nap. She is so tired. I'm literally finna crash out for 3 days. And she never woke up. You neglect your body. You neglect your health. You neglect your sleep. All of that in the name of a grind. Because you don't want to be at the bottom rung your whole life. You want to move up. You want something for your child. You don't want to struggle and you can't feed your child. You can't take your child this place. You can't put clothes on your child back. You can't put gas in your car. You can't you don't want that. So you grind. But the grind grinds you. Like they say in prison, do the time, don't let the time do you. Do the grind, don't let the grind grind you. But it does, it grinds you up and spits you out. Right? But see, when it's from God, it wouldn't totally consume you like that. So that's what it's almost like I'm pushing the brakes. I'm Cadillac. I've been speeding, I've been grinding, I've been racing. And it's almost like God is saying, push the brakes. Stop all the way. Slow down. Not even slow down, come to a complete stop. And that may be the way that I finally, because I feel like I'm losing the race. But possibly that's the only way to actually win. All right, guys, got off track. I was going to cover that video And then I was also going to tell you the flip side of this situation of my husband getting transferred back up the road. But I guess I'd put that in another video because your girl is too long-winded, like for real. And I'm glad y'all had time today to listen to my ranting. All right, thank you guys. Hiss your girl Cadillac.